Welcome back to We Regret Nothing. Before I actually read the intro, I want to say up front, and if it sounds like he doth protest too much, maybe he does, but when I first, I want to say came up with the concept for this podcast, it like so many things in my life, it sounded good in my head. And we've done several seasons now under the premise of, locking the items for these categories in a capsule, sending them to space. And then when an alien race finds it, they'll understand that decade. And that was just wrong. And it took a little while to kind of come to this. And I came to this with the help of the panelists who are being pains in the ass already today, but they did help in this regard. That so all of that to say, there's a slight change in the conceit of this podcast, and that is we're going to stop trying to figure out what best represents a decade, and the answer usually in life is just keep it simple, stupid, which is we're just going to try to figure out the best of the decade. So right now we're in books. We went over the first 10. Today we're going to go over the next 10, and we're going to come up with a top 10. But that top 10 is not going to be the books or plays, Michelle, that represent the 1940s. It is going to be straight up what are the best 10 books today, and then ultimately the best 5 books of the 1940s. So it's not what they represent. It's just straight up what are the best. So I wanted to get that out for everybody, and then apologize to Andrea and Michelle because they put up with several seasons of a slightly askew concept of the podcast. So with that being said, let's jump into this. So as you may or may not know, I'm Sean, and today we're turning the page once again as we continue our journey through the best books of the 1940s. In our last episode, Andrea, Michelle, and I introduced the first 10 books from our list of 20 contenders. And then today, we're bringing you the next 10, completing our list of the 20 books that we believe deserve consideration for the ultimate literary time capsule of the 1940s. And like I just said, we're not trying to decide which books represent the 1940s. We're trying to decide which books are simply the best books of the 1940s. So again, if an alien civilization opened our capsule 1,000 years from now, we don't want to hand them a history textbook. We just want to hand them the greatest books that decade had to offer. The best writing, the most unforgettable stories, the books that moved readers, challenged conventions, influenced generations to come, and stood the test of time. After we discuss these next 10 books, the real work is going to begin because the 20 have to become 10. Andrea, Michelle, and I will have to put aside personal favorites when necessary and ask the toughest questions we can. Which books deserve to be called the very best of the 1940s? Literary achievement, cultural impact, originality, influence, enduring quality. Every book is going to have to make its case, because when that capsule finally reaches the aliens, we don't want to give them books that merely explain this decade. We want to give them the books that prove how great the decade was. So, let's finish our list of 20. Candidates we'll put on the table, and then we have to find out which 10 are good enough to survive. Welcome, Michelle.
Hello, stupid.
Hello, Andrea. Like I said. Okay. So, number 11, we're going to start off with...
He said keep it simple, stupid, so...
That's for me. Yeah, that's why, Andrea, compose yourself. Okay. Number 11, The Naked and the Dead. This is a novel written by Norman Mailer, published in 1948 when he was 25 years old. It was his debut novel. But this book depicts the experiences of a platoon during World War II, based partially on Mailer's experience as a cook with the 112th Cavalry Regiment during the Philippines campaign in World War II. That is great. Michelle.
Wow. Wow. Here we go. Never finished this book. I think I started it, and I just, in general, like war stuff and, it's not really my jam. So I think I started this probably because it was assigned and never finished it. But when I went back through and was looking at the synopsis, I was like, I should probably read this. But I like that it's like, that it's not that it's not your typical kind of beginning, middle, end story, that it's broken into the, just kind of the different relationships of the members of the platoon, and how that even at war, the same kind of shit that happens in your normal life happens, right? There's competition, there's people you don't like, the sense of loneliness and brotherhood and all of the things that you would normally grapple with, on top of the fact that you could die at any second.
Can I ask you, though, you maybe just explained it, but what made you say I should go back and read this?
I think because now, as an older person, and I don't mean as an old lady, I just mean now someone who would be reading this now as opposed to someone who started it in their 20s, and having seen, in this, I kind of don't care how people read, if that makes sense. Like, if something brings you to a book, I think that's good. As a person who does not read very often, however you can get me to a book and I will actually read the book, I think is a good idea. So now, having seen several war movies and things like Band of Brothers and like that kind of stuff, I would read this now with a different.
Yeah, I
would come to it differently.
Yeah.
Right? Because in my head, I could have, again, for me, I would have visuals to put with it. I think I'm not an imaginative reader. Like, unless it's very descriptive. And I think that the depictions in this are it's descriptive of the action, but not of the characters as much. So I feel like I could put visuals to what I'm reading, and that helps me get through a book. There's a book I read, and Andrea and I read, that I could picture visually because the characters are the same age we are, the Quarry Girls.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The reason I plowed through that book, and I plowed through that book, I read it on a plane, is because I was able to visually put things in my own experience to it. And so I was able to read it more quickly. So I guess I say all that to say, if I read this now, I would picture, parts of Saving Private Ryan or parts of Band of Brothers, or, just stuff to put into it that would help me read through this a little bit better.
That's interesting. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense to me. Andrea?
I know this is sacrilege when we get our listenership back up. I'm not a fan of Norman Mailer. That not the man so much, just his style of writing. I don't enjoy, but he was really gifted. Like, I'm not.
To write
this at 25. Like, come on. No, it's just maybe his stuff is too stark for me. Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay. Yeah. So after returning home from war, Mailer moves to France with his wife Beatrice, where why do I do this to myself?
Oh no.
Where he studied at the Sorbonne.
The Sorbonne.
Fuck the French. In Paris.
I don't like you can say that
here. Well, it's interesting you say that, because what I wanted to talk about is, to me, the most interesting part of this book is that. But Mailer wrote this in 15 months.
Jeez.
And it was his first novel. He was 25. But the publishers of The Naked and the Dead prevented Mailer from using the word fuck in his novel. And he had to use the euphemism fug, F-U-G, instead. In 1988, Mailer shared this anecdote, which I thought was funny. But the word has been a source of great embarrassment to me over the years, because, Tallulah Bankhead's press agent, many years ago, got a story in the papers which went, "Oh, hello, you're Norman Mailer. You're the young man that doesn't know how to spell." The four-letter word was indicated with all sorts of asterisks. So this incident was mentioned in John Green's An Abundance of Catherines in 2006, where Colin Singleton tells Lindsay Lee Wells he likes to read literary criticism after reading a book. Colin says the publisher indicated that no one in 1948 would buy The Naked and the Dead because it contains more F-bombs than it does regular bombs. So Norman Mailer, as kind of a fug you to the publisher, went through his 872-page book and changed every last word to fug.
I love that you can shoot a Japanese soldier in the face after he shows you a picture of his family.
But you can't say
that. Okay, so number 12, All the King's Men. This is a 1946 novel by Robert Penn Warren. Novel tells the story of a charismatic populist governor, Willie Stark, and his political machinations in the Depression era Deep South. It was inspired by the real-life story of U.S. Senator and Louisiana Governor Huey P. Long, who was assassinated in 1935. The title is drawn from the nursery rhyme Humpty Dump. That is Andrea.
Is there another Andrea on the panel, or are you speaking directly to me?
No.
It's a good book. The hardest thing with me with this book is I prefer both versions of the book in movie form. So it is one of those where sometimes I'm like, wait, was that the book or the movie? I like the whole part of how you can't stand alone. You might try to be on the outside and be the observer, and nobody can ever just stay the observer. And there's a book where, and this is another book, obviously not this book. There's a book written in the 2000s where a town is found, like nobody can leave. And it turns out in the end that like you can't leave. Like if you generally, you'll die. But in the end, they're being observed by aliens from another realm. But it goes from observing to kind of fucking with the town. Because even that, you always have to add your own thing or be there in some way. And I do like this where he's like, nope, this isn't me. I'm just back. And how eventually he enmeshes himself. I've never been a fan, and this is Candy's not going to listen to this, but to our best friend Candy would always, if there was an argument, she'd always say, I'm Switzerland. And I don't believe you can be Switzerland. I don't believe, you always have one feeling one way or the other. And eventually, given time, I believe that, God, I'm doing a shitty job of talking about this, but I might still be drunk. But I believe that you can't just stand out there. That's more sociopathic. I believe eventually you have to get involved too. And I like how it shows that you might have been idealistic and I'm above this, but then eventually you're a part of it.
You're talking about Jack Burton?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I think that's Kurt Russell
That's Jack Burton.
Oh, okay.
Me.
Okay.
Michelle?
A couple of things about this. I did read this one, and that the Willie Stark character is kind of, I think it's an archetype for all the other kind of big. I'm probably starting honestly with like just the giant like
personality is.
Yes, just somebody who's kind of inept at their job, kind of charms and or corruptly weasels their way into said job, and then amasses a group of people who either are truly inspired. Does any of this sound familiar? Truly inspired by that person, or they also want to be something bigger and better, and so they hitch their wagon to this person. And I Robert Penn Warren had said this isn't really based on Huey P. Long. It's just that the parallels are similar. And I was like, okay, bro.
You think he didn't want to piss anybody off? Like, he was like, yeah, I don't need a lawsuit.
But the one thing he did say that I read that I thought was very interesting, and I think is probably the crux of this book and kind of the point, is he said Willie is the kind of doom that democracy may invite upon itself. So like the race for the power, the race for invents this person.
Did we have to do this now? And
I know that's all. That's what I'm saying.
Like we already
have
it.
It's
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of poignant. Also, can I add again? This also has a storyline in it, which I mean is ultimately no spoilers, but how Willie gets killed. The thing that we also encountered this in other books and movies. I'm going to defend my sister's honor by murdering someone. Like, I don't understand this. If my sister went out and fucked the whole town, I'd be like, all right, sis,
my sister did.
Makes you happy. But if I find out about it, I'm not going to be like, let me go kill that bastard.
Yes.
I don't understand this at all. Was that a fucking thing? Did people just regularly go out and murder the person that, like, I don't understand that. Hey man, have your sister look in the mirror for a second too. It's like, I don't know why we're out here killing people. I don't understand it.
I mean, it's the same as going out and finding and making them marry them by shotgun, you know? I mean,
I don't understand
it's
that.
like, that's not going to be a
we're going to
nice
see it
union.
again too. But
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Look what happened to Tony Montana.
That was just weird.
That was
weird. Okay. So All the King's Men, this book portrays the dramatic and theatrical political rise and governorship of Willie Stark, an idealistic but underhanded populist in the 1930s in the American South. Novel is narrated by Jack Burden, a political reporter who comes to work as Governor Stark's right-hand man. And so I think it's been alluded to, but the trajectory of Stark's career is interwoven with Jack Burden's life story, philosophical reflections. Particularly the story of Willie Stark and the story of Jack Burden are, in one sense, one story. But this book won the Pulitzer Prize in 1947. And then Andrea alluded to this, too. It was adapted into 2 films of the same name, one in 1949, one in 2006. The 1949 version won the Academy Award for Best Picture. You know, this novel has received critical acclaim and has remained popular since its first publication. It's rated the 36th greatest novel of the 20th century and was chosen as one of Time Magazine's 100 best novels since 1923. So, you know, it's got the creds, but I think both of you have legitimate points about this book. Next, number 13 is Evil Under the Sun. This is a mystery novel by British writer Agatha Christie, first published in the UK by the Collins Crime Club, awesome name, in June of 1941, and then later in the US by Dodd Mead and Company in October of 1941. That is Michelle.
I think it's no secret that we're fans of Agatha Christie. This is my least favorite one. It really is. I know. It's crazy. It's my least favorite one. I could tell when you started rubbing your hands together that I was going to get that reaction. I felt like I figured it out too quickly. I don't like that.
Oh.
That's why it's my least favorite. It's not my least favorite because it's not well written or it's not, but I just like I figured it out too quickly. And then I was like, really?
But I do understand that where you go, no, wait, no.
You're like, is that too obvious? It is. Guess what? So, yeah, no, but it's, I mean.
I enjoyed the film adaptation more than the book.
I don't think I've seen the film adaptation.
Get the fuck out of my house right now.
Friends?
It is so.
I really don't think I've seen it.
Fucking good.
I mean,
it is so good. I love Dame Maggie Smith in that. She's like, she owns the resort and she's just.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, even, I don't. This you're gonna probably throw
no,
me
it's
out
okay.
again.
It's okay.
Just like the plot of it too, right? Like let's, Poirot goes on vacation.
Well, you
somebody
should never
murdered.
No, but you should seriously never go anywhere that
Yeah, someone's gonna die
because either you are a murderer, so you should know. Like, and why is everybody like this little fat French guy? Which he's Belgian.
He's Belgian.
I know, but they always say he's French. That's his whole thing with his little gray cells, and he doesn't like being. But everybody thinks they're smarter than he is. And it's like, but it's not like you don't know who he is in all the books. Everybody's like, oh, you're the famous,
that's the other thing.
The Hercule Poirot, but
if I walked into a fucking resort and saw him, I'd be like, hey, too bad we can't stay, baby.
Yeah.
I'd have to go. I'd be like,
either I'm getting killed,
somebody's getting murdered, and the whole vacation is going to be ruined with this little short fucker running around trying to figure out who did it. I didn't do it, and I don't want to get killed, so we got to go.
This is going to make, Mel's going to kill me for this, but Kenneth Branagh is killing it as him. Sorry for that.
I do really
and we're not fans of Kenneth Branagh's personal choices.
His Poirot is real good.
It's really, really good. But yes, I love this, but it is through the lens of Agatha Christie. I'm like, I love Agatha Christie.
I like, again, but the plot is, young hot actress. She's flirty.
Yeah.
She ends up dead. You're like, whoa, how did that happen?
Oh, the great tan.
Yeah. with the great tan. And the people who you think, or at least a person you think probably did it. So.
Yeah, I do. But like I said, I enjoy the film adaptation more.
Yes. How it happened.
Yeah.
And the little plot. Yeah. Like the plot twist part of it. That's all good. I just was like, I think it's
yeah.
And it was.
And it's funny too with her stuff is she always starts it with like something and then you read the book and then you forget. Then somebody's like, and remember the murder on the moors in 1927. You're like, holy fuck. But you forget all about that. You never, or at least I should say, I forget all about that. And then I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. Like, why didn't they ask, what was it? Why didn't they ask Anders?
Why didn't they ask Anders?
It's like, I'm like, oh shit. No, you saw when he saw the dead body. Oh, but like, and then I'm like, oh, look at you, AC, bringing it all together.
You know her like that, huh? AC.
I believe we would have been friends.
Okay.
I probably would have killed her ex-husband. Maybe I did. Maybe I'm a time traveler.
You don't know.
Number 14. Number 14 is Cannery Row. This is a novel by American author John Steinbeck, published in 1945. And that is Andrea.
I love John Steinbeck. I do. I'm not happy with some of his lack of dedications in novels, but I very much like the writing style of Steinbeck. I like Cannery Row. I never read the sequel book.
I didn't either.
But I enjoyed Cannery Row. This is another one. This is troubled now as we're going, is like, I'm like, oh, movie adaptation versus book. I haven't read the book in probably 35 years. I haven't seen the movie adaptation in 40. But because whenever I hear Cannery Row, I just think of Nick Nolte. But
was it Deborah Winger?
Deborah Winger.
Okay.
But I like kind of Mac and the Misfits. I love the Chinese grocer whose name I want to say Wu, but I
Li
think
Chong.
that's our picture. Okay.
Li Chong.
But I just like the way he writes people, even if I don't like the people.
Mm-hmm.
And this to me was just kind of like oh shucks, we thought we'd do some good.
But I feel like everyone's likable in this book.
Yes.
And
I love a whore with a heart of gold. I
maybe the original.
Yep. I enjoyed this book so much that I was talking about it. I'm like, I think I'm going to go back and reread it. The only one of his I really can't go back and reread is East of Eden, which if it's not in the 50s books, will be in the 50s books. But yeah, it's a well-written, it's one of my more enjoyable because a lot of Steinbeck depresses me.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it depresses me. And this one was just a fun read. I was like, oh, you got it in you.
Chuckle all the way through of Mice and Men.
I found the ending a bit of a downer. Sorry, Sean. We're here for the humor too.
Michelle?
I did not know this until I was researching, but that he said that he wrote it basically for a group of soldiers who told him that they wanted something fun to read. They didn't want to read about the fucking war anymore. Like they were over it. Like all these books, right? There's a whole bunch of books. And then I love that he wrote for. Yeah, I don't know if it was like a chance encounter or if somebody wrote him or whatever, but he said that he was inspired to write something more, lighthearted because they were like, hey, you know what? Can we, we're living it. We don't necessarily want to read it.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah,
I thought that was cute. I forgot because it's been so long since I read it, but it kind of gets glossed over, but Doc finds a fucking dead body in the ocean in La Jolla and it's just kind of like bloop.
The soldiers said they didn't want sadness. Okay.
Yeah. No, but there's a dead, and it's not like just a dead, it's a girl. It's a dead little girl in the fucking ocean.
And I'm
like back to going to the party. I'm like, what the fuck happened here?
God.
But the central theme, I think, is basically like, the good times can't be as good if there aren't, shitty things in your life or shitty circumstances.
Yeah.
Then the good is better.
Yeah. Way to go, John.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we've circled around this a little bit, but just to put a fine point on it, this book is set during the Great Depression in Monterey, California, on a street that is lined with sardine canneries. That was informally known as Cannery Row. Story revolves around the people living there: Li Chong, the local grocer; Doc, a marine biologist; and Mac, the leader of a group of derelict folks. The Monterey location Steinbeck was writing about was on Ocean View Avenue.
Ocean Avenue is where the Belchers live.
Okay, Ocean View Avenue had been informally called Cannery Row since World War I, but in 1958, the street was formally renamed Cannery Row in honor of Steinbeck. Film version was released in 82. I think Andrea mentioned Nick Nolte and Deborah Winger. So yeah, we talked about Steinbeck, where he's from and all of that, but he lived with his wife in his family's 3-room summer cottage in Pacific Grove, California, from 30 to 36, and then lived at the cottage at various times in the 40s. But Steinbeck actually wrote this when he was living in New York in 44. But in 53, what Michelle just said, but Steinbeck explained it was kind of a nostalgic thing for a group of soldiers who said to me, write something funny that isn't about war. Write something for us to read. We're sick of war.
Yeah, I guess we've lived it. I really don't want to fucking read my dramatization.
Yeah. Okay. 15. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. This is a 1943 semi-autobiographical novel written by Betty Smith. And that is Michelle.
I really like this book. I like it for a couple of reasons. Again, that it's broken into sections. That's, as I have well noted, it's good for me as a reader to break things up. It helps move along a little bit. Remember, I think I've done this before too. I think Henrietta Orr, grade junior high, assigned me this book, and I thought it was about Black people because she was Black. That sounds crazy. I know. I think I went. Black woman assigned it to me. Brooklyn in the tenements. It's about a Black family. And then I was like, oh, wait a second. This isn't that. I think it's a really, like, it's a really beautiful kind of coming of age. You know, you can relate to it even if you're not poor or, an immigrant, or, the theme of it is just perseverance, right? Which the tree. I really like it. I thought Francie was a likable. You felt you wanted her to win. You were rooting for her. She had a lot of things, it's just a sweet, like, I thought it was really, really touching. I like this book a lot.
Andrea?
I have a call. Sorry, I was looking up the movie. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I saw the movie first. It was one of the KSTW Saturday matinee. My mom was like, we're watching this. I was like, okay. A lot of it went over in my head because I think I was like maybe 6. Like, some things young Andy shouldn't be exposed to because she doesn't quite understand. I was laughing about you thinking it was about a Black family because I do remember there's a Sidney Poitier movie that's like really close or something and I was like,
oh, I know what you're talking about. Well, the other thing is, I don't think I'm the only one.
No,
because a lot of rappers mention this book. I don't know if they've read it. I think they just were like, Tree Grows in Brooklyn. I'm telling you, I don't think I'm the only one, but
it's so.
But I'll own it, Jay-Z.
Yeah, it's Dorothy McGuire. That's what I was looking because she plays Katie Nolan. I remember Dorothy McGuire always played that.
The matronly.
Yeah, like, we're going to get through this. Yeah, when I read the book, I remember what really struck me was like that she used like all the money for the funeral. And I'm like,
yeah,
no.
I think it's
but people did that.
They did do that. And I think I think in another book, Katie would have been unlikable because she shows favoritism to Neely. You know what I mean? Like, I think she could have been an unlikable character.
Yeah.
Because she could have been, but she was written, very, like, poignantly, right?
Yeah.
Like, she had a rough upbringing. She's married to an alcoholic who's a good guy, but he just was an alcoholic.
Yeah, and if that was her mom, in real semi-autobiographical, if that was her, like, she might have understood either.
Like, you were rooting for her, too, even though part of the reason that Francie's life was hard was because of her relationship with her mom.
Yeah.
So you could have not liked her, but I never disliked her.
Yeah.
I was just like,
that's
she's
true.
Got a rough fucking,
there isn't, and they're
dealt a rough fucking hand.
And there are moms though that are written that way, where you favor one child and you read the book and you're just like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, like,
no.
Yeah, but I think the characters were all really Yeah. No, just
Yeah, you can still be sympathetic towards them and understand rather than be resentful of their flaws. Like you were like,
yeah.
okay. Which it takes. I don't know if she ever wrote anything else.
Yeah,
Did she?
I also don't know that.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I just think that and maybe it was unintentional. I feel, again, we've talked about this before too. I don't think everything is fucking intentional.
Yeah.
High school lit teacher. I don't think every goddamn thing is foreshadowing and whatever.
We'll start a beef with somebody where we just get a lot of listeners.
I just mean,
if it's high school English teachers,
I don't know if
it.
it was intentional, but she was written, and I think probably more likely is what you're saying, is that because it was sort of based on her own mother, you still have a little bit of like
Some
try.
people do.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
But yeah, I all the characters in this, like, there's really, it's well written. It's
real good.
Yeah.
I think Michelle alluded to this, but this novel split into 5 quote unquote books, each covering a different period in the characters' lives. The main metaphor of the book is the hardy tree of heaven, whose persistent ability to grow and flourish, even in the inner city, mirrors the protagonist's desire to better herself. There are 2 things that I know about this book, and why I don't get offended when Michelle opened with calling me stupid is because I'm a dum-dum. The only thing, before I did the research for this podcast, the only thing I knew about this book was from a Looney Tunes cartoon when I was 11 years old. And there are a pack of dogs chasing Sylvester, and all of a sudden the dogs stop chasing Sylvester and turn and run. And then the camera pans down to a book, and the book is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. All the dogs are going to pee on a tree in Brooklyn. It was hilarious to 11-year-old Sean. And my only connection to this book is that cartoon. I'm a dumb. But the second thing that I learned that I learned during the research, but this book was an immense success on its own. But like some of the others we've discussed, it was released in an armed services edition, the size of mass market paper book, to fit specifically into a uniform pocket. And so there was reported one jarhead, one Marine, United States Marine, but wrote to the author Smith and said, "I can't explain the emotional reaction that took place in this dead heart of mine. A surge of confidence has swept through me, and I feel that maybe a fellow has a fighting chance in this world after all."
I would never write another novel again.
Right?
Yeah.
But she wrote 4.
Okay. Yeah.
She wrote 4 more.
3 more. She
Okay.
wrote 4 total.
So here we go. Let's get into it. Number 16. Death of a Salesman. This is a 1949 stage play written by American playwright Arthur Miller. Andrea?
I think you should just change it to literature, works of literature rather than books.
Okay.
So you're not bullied by other panelists about it.
I'm going to get bullied by this one way or another. I'm fine with it.
Death of a Salesman fucked me up. It was, number one, why are you making 13-year-old Andrea read this?
Yeah, word.
It is so, and it's so funny because I had heard, like, you would talk to somebody who's kind of a sad sap. It's like, oh, he's Willie Loman. And I was like, who the fuck's Willie Loman? And then I got assigned this in 8th grade and was like, you are
or
a sad
cynical
sap.
old silverback.
Yeah.
Who just hates his fucking job, hates his fucking life.
And to know that he is the reason for Biff, like, Biff, be a little bit stronger. I will say that. Like, come on, Biff, work it out. Which I guess Chris Abbott just played Biff, and that
In 2026.
Yeah, because that's Aubrey Plaza's.
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza, the father of her child.
Okay.
But he's the guy from Wolfman. This has nothing to do with anything I'm about to say right now. But I can see it. What's funny is when I was younger, when I first read, I often speak about things that have nothing to do with what we're speaking about. It's my shtick, Sean. Oh. But when I was younger, I always saw Biff as like a blonde, like kind of hulking, like, but kind of washed out. So I was just, the fact that it's totally physically different. But people talk about, like, when this is performed as a play, like the great ones at playing Loman, like just absorb, become, even you can love them, like Dustin Hoffman.
I was just going to say Dustin.
Yeah, it's so heartbreaking. And his poor wife. And for him to be on his moral high horse and all this, and I won't do that, and just a total dick sack who fucked somebody besides his wife and his child. Willie Loman's a fucking asshole.
He kind of sucks.
He sucks the big one. And I'm just, but it's still heartbreaking. And I'm still like, damn. I mean, I have my own personal thing with Arthur Miller. But damn, this is so good.
Michelle?
That's Michelle.
I will fully admit that my first note is our book is a play. I mean, it's iconic, right? Like you said, people will say things, you know, if you say Willie Loman, again, anybody in our age range knows what the fuck they're talking about. I am a big fan of, I think I've stated this before too, like the idea of the American dream and how it doesn't always, it isn't all that it's cracked up to be. And I feel like this is like a masterpiece in, you know, Willie's doing all the things he's supposed to do, right? He's married, he's got kids, he's working, you know, he's a schlub, he's doing all the things, and he's fucking miserable, and he's angry that his kids aren't better than they are, and he hates his fucking life, and right? And all of that. Yet, if you just put it on paper, here's a guy who's got a job and a wife and a plate, you know, and all of it on paper looks like the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, he's completely fucking despondent and just, he's fucking miserable.
He's miserable.
And I mean both in like how he feels and how he acts.
Yeah.
He's fucking miserable. And spoiler alert, he can't take it anymore.
No.
And I even and have always thought this in the several times that I've seen this or, you know, read through it, is that it's even, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, so please don't take it this way, America. But when people say, I do not believe this, by the way, that suicide is a selfish act. In this case, in the case of Willie, it's not so much that he can't take it anymore. He can't take the shame of his kids, his life, his whatever. So he kills himself because it'll be better for him.
For him. Yeah, I do. I everything you just said, like, we do understand.
I know that's like, I don't like the way it sounds, but I know logically.
But in this character,
that's what this
is. Yeah.
Yeah. He's selfish from start to finish.
Yeah.
He doesn't help his kids. He doesn't arguably even care about his kids. He cares about what his kids look like to other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not, because if he cared, he'd take the jobs that Charlie offered him.
Yeah.
And he'd stop being a fucking douchebag. But he doesn't.
Yeah.
So
that
said,
agreed.
It's real fucking good. And the list of people who've played Willie and the kids is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Jed saw it with
Wendell Pierce or Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Oh, God.
Wendell Pierce with
Sharon
with
Clark.
with Laurie Metcalf as the wife.
No.
Who was
Laurie Metcalf is
With
this
Nathan Lane.
with
Nathan
Nathan
Lane.
Lane. Yeah, with Nathan Lane.
Yeah, because he just went.
He saw.
So let me go over the list real quick.
Yeah.
Let me go over the list of who's played Willie Loman. 1949, Lee J. Cobb. 1975, George C. Scott.
Perfect.
1980, Bob Peck. I don't actually know Bob Peck by name,
I think
but
he's British.
okay. 1984, Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, come on.
1999, Brian Dennehy. 2012, Philip Seymour Hoffman. 2022, Wendell Pierce. 2026, Nathan Lane. Now, I'll take the heat for this. I think an argument can be made, but I'll say that this one, what?
You were Bob Peck for Halloween.
Who's Bob Peck?
Patrick Muldoon.
Oh, from Jurassic Park?
Yeah. Clever girl.
Oh,
He's
okay.
British. Or no,
Yeah.
he's Australian.
Australian. So listen, this play...
North England.
He's British. Yeah. Okay. This play premiered on Broadway February 10th, 1949. It ran for 742 performances. It's a 2-act tragedy. The subtitle of this play is Certain Private Conversations in 2 Acts and a Requiem. This is set in 1940s Brooklyn, told through a montage of memories, dreams, and arguments of the protagonist, Willie Loman, who's a traveling salesman who is despondent with his life and appears to be slipping into senility. Play addresses a variety of themes such as the American dream, the anatomy of truth, and infidelity. Here's one argument for why it's on this list. It won the 1949 Pulitzer Prize for drama, but it also won the Tony Award for Best Play. Since its premiere, the play's been revived on Broadway 5 times, winning at least 2 up to today, an unprecedented 4 Tony Awards for Best Revival. It's been adapted for cinema 10 times. And in 1999, New Yorker drama critic John Lahr said that with 11 million copies sold, it is most likely the most successful modern play ever published. But I'll still take my lumps from Michelle.
I think I like Andrea's idea about literature.
Sure. Yeah. Yet another mistake I
Or
made.
books, or
So,
just call
great.
it books and plays. Books and plays.
Literature.
Because what are we going to do when we get to Hamilton?
Not put it on the list. 17.
Yeah.
Pippi Longstocking. Pippi Longstocking.
You haven't seen it, right? You haven't seen it.
I have.
No, we were supposed to watch it.
The Swedish children's novel by writer Astrid Lindgren with illustrations by Ingrid van Nyman, published in 1945. That is Michelle.
These were also not my jam. They weren't read to me. They weren't given to me. I didn't find them till much later as a kid. I know you're going to, but same kind of shit with like later on when Amelia Bedelia and that shit happens. I also didn't have exposure to that stuff either. I know. I've never read a Pippi Longstocking in my life. I know who she is. I know the crazy, but it's like a fever dream. It's like a fever dream. She's
Andrea,
got a
why-
fucking monkey. She's got a bag full of gold. Her parents, her mom is dead, and her dad's fucking Captain Crunch.
Because everybody loves his books. These are great children's books.
Michelle.
I
don't know. I
stand
love
these
them.
books.
I just never.
No, I do not like
Oh.
these books. I do not like an unkempt child. There should be some sort of parental contact there. This book bothered me so much when I read it when I was a little girl. No, she's dirty. She's nasty. Do something with your braids. I know that's
She
really
got a-
wire going through there. I know she's super strong. What's she on? I don't like it. I don't find it funny. I don't find it cute. It's very unsettling, and it makes me want to take a shower.
She
I
got a
don't
horse
like it.
and a monkey. I don't understand it. Crazy shit.
I
Her
do.
dad, her
Same
dad's
reason I
Captain
didn't like
Crunch
fucking Chitty
away
Chitty
at
Bang
sea.
Bang or any. No, this is the first person ever. And then when they tried to like revive it in the 90s and make a movie and everything, no.
It's like you took mushrooms.
She just looks like she's going to smell like tapioca pudding. I don't like it. It's
Oh.
uncomfortable. I also did not like Amelia Bedelia.
I don't like any of that.
I don't
Oh.
like that. I want structure, or at least if it's going to be crazy, let it be like vampires knocking on Danny Glick's window. I don't want this bullshit. Fix yourself, Sweden.
Number 18. The Glass Menagerie. Menagerie?
Menagerie.
Menagerie?
Menagerie.
This is a memory play by Tennessee Williams, premiered in 1944, and this is what catapulted Williams from obscurity to fame. And that is Andrea.
Not a pun. I'm sorry. I do. Tennessee Williams creeps me out on so many levels of his stories, his plays. Immensely talented. But Glass Menagerie just always made me.
Spooky?
Yeah.
I don't like this one.
Yeah.
I don't like the. I mean, yeah, I'm not a fan of this one.
Yeah. There's
feel-
other.
Listen, it's well written,
Yes.
but
That. Exactly that.
I think the eloquent language saves this one
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, I took over your.
No. Go, please.
I feel like there's a lot of. I think there's a lot of characters in this we've seen before, right? The harsh mom who just wants better for her kids, and I mean, you could argue that that's the same kind of mom in Tree Grove, in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
but
but
I
it
think,
feels-
but written differently. Again, I think just written differently, right? The son who's a dreamer. The poor,
Laura,
mentally disabled.
yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it's that part is, but it's mostly that she's shy and she feels bad about herself. So I don't that. And then the kind of roped into it best friend guy. I just don't like this one.
I think a lot of it might be what is because it is based on William's own family.
Yeah.
So
and it's unfortunate about his sister.
Yeah.
Like that the is her name Laura? Laura is based on.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrible. And ultimately, he leaves all his money. Tennessee Williams leaves all his money to take care of her because what happened to her is far worse than what he portrays in The Glass Menagerie. But yeah, it makes me feel kind of ooky.
It does. It makes me feel like I'm reading his diary and not in a tittillating way.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, I was never a fan of that one.
Yeah.
Either. I saw that I've only seen the movie adaptation.
Yeah.
I'm
with you.
Michelle, you brought up the writing, how it's, but the beginning of Tom's opening soliloquy, I just want to read it real quick because I don't know why I like it so much, but yes, I have tricks in my pocket. I have things up my sleeve, but I am the opposite of a stage magician. He gives you an illusion that has the appearance of truth. I give you the truth in the pleasant disguise of illusion.
Yeah, that could
It's
be.
some shit
That
like
sums
that,
up.
and it's
That
like-
sums it up.
I mean, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sums it up. Like it.
Another thing that I read, and maybe you have in your research, Sean, is that he coined the phrase memory play.
He did.
Because this is told from Tom's memories, and he even tells the audience, like,
Oh,
hey, this might not
shit.
be, I'm an unreliable narrator because these are from my memories. So
And I like that part of it. And so so doing the research, it's my opening. I said it's a memory play. And before when I wrote those notes, I was like, what the hell is a memory play? And so I went and looked it up, and it was coined by Tennessee Williams to describe this work.
yeah.
And I was like, I don't feel any kind of way about that. But now things are referred to as memory plays, and he actually just made that up. Anyway, I still find it fascinating. But and then number 19, Goodnight Moon. Goodnight Moon is a classic children's bedtime picture book written by Margaret Wise Brown and illustrated by Clement Hurd. So it's published on September 3rd, 1947. Featuring a little bunny in a great green room saying goodnight to familiar objects one by one. And that is Michelle.
10 out of 10. One note. First of all, crazy that this did not sell well out of the gate. Libraries wouldn't carry it. They were like, you're not teaching them anything. Yeah, go fuck yourself. It's a bedtime story. It's time to go to bed. And that's my note. That it takes an hour and 10 minutes for this fucking kid. I'm sorry, the bunny, to say goodnight to everything in their room. And if you are a parent, you know that is about right. So the note is not that it's not accurate, but in the also immortal bedtime story, go to fuck to sleep.
That's a great book.
I do
Go
love
fuck to
that book.
sleep.
I love that book
This,
so much.
yeah, this is the penultimate bedtime book. You read it at bedtime. It's about bedtime. Go to fuck to sleep.
Mhm.
Hour and 10 minutes.
Andrea?
This was the first book I bought when I found out that I was pregnant with our first child. I was so thrilled to buy it, just to be like, I'm buying this for my baby. I loved it, and nobody will be shocked to hear that I did not own it as a child because my mother found it too simple and that it
Not
would
shocking.
talk down to me.
Did you also not have Runaway Bunny?
I had Runaway Bunny. Somebody must have snuck that in. Hey, the child I was made me the woman I am. Fucked up, but this is. I love it. I love it. I love it. We quote it
Quote it all
the time.
Yeah.
What's the quote?
Good night, moon. I
Good
say it
night,
all the
moon.
time.
you just
Just rhyme shit.
Good night,
Okay.
people everywhere.
I said, good night, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
I sometimes still say that at night.
It's
Good night, Jeff Goldblum.
Good night t-shirts. Good night, Moon.
I'm obviously familiar with this book from, Andrea buying it and making the thing of it, but I'm more, I don't want to say fascinated. I was interested to find out about Margaret Wise Brown because in the summer of 1940, Brown began a long-term relationship with a person named Blanche Ulrichs. Blanche Ulrichs, are you familiar with Blanche?
No.
I don't know what to, it'll make sense why I'm stumbling over that in a second. Because poet, playwright, actress, and former wife of John Barrymore. But, so the relationship between Brown, I'm going to say Ulrichs for now, but began as a mentoring one, and then eventually became romantic, and then eventually they lived together as partners at 10 Gracie Square in New York, beginning in 1943.
That's pretty ballsy.
So listen, Blanche went under the pen name of Michael Strange. And when you look up Blanche Ulrichs, at least the Wikipedia page, it is Michael Strange is the name.
My straw.
Wow. But Ulrichs first used a masculine pen name, Michael Strange, to publish her poetry in order to distance her social or society reputation from the erotic content that they were writing.
Wow.
But it soon became the name under which she was presented. It says she was presented for the remainder of her life. I have a picture here of her headstone, and it's Michael Strange is the headstone. And also was 20 years older than Margaret Wise Brown. I'm fascinated with Michael Strange. And the whole...
That's funny, I put in Michael Strange and Blanche Ulrichs.
Yeah.
Redirects.
I was fascinated by that. But then if I go back to Margaret Wise Brown, another kind of interesting thing is she went by various nicknames depending on which circle of friends that she was in. To her Dana Hall and Holland's friends, she went by Tim. To her Bank Street friends, she was Brownie. To William Gadsden, she was Goldie. So yeah, and so Michael Strange preceded her in death, and so died in 1950. And then in 52, Brown met James Stillman Rockefeller Jr. at a party, and they became engaged. And then later that year, before the marriage, she was on a book tour in Nice, France, and she had some problem. She went to the doctor, and she went to kick her leg up to show the doctor how she was feeling, and suffered either a rupture of an ovarian cyst or an appendix. Either way, an embolism ended her life at 42 years of age. I listen, I know the book, all that's fascinating, but y'all know me. I like learning about people and all this stuff. And I was just really interested in them choosing masculine names, living, together. I don't know. I just found all of that really interesting. Last one, number 20. Oh no, it's Tennessee Williams again. Streetcar Named Desire. This is a play by Michelle. A play by Tennessee Williams that premiered on Broadway December 3rd, 1947. Dramatizes the experience of Blanche Dubois, former Southern belle, who later goes on to live with other older women. Oh no, that's the Golden Girls. I'm sorry. She was Blanche Dubois. Anyway, number 20, that's Andrea.
I don't know what to do with this.
I know.
I often don't know if I dislike this place so much because I dislike the people so much.
That's why. I'm just telling you that's why, because that's why I do too. I'm sorry.
No, it's
Michelle's got some feelings.
Well, it is, but and with me is oh god, overrated actor, the Godfather, Marlon Brando played Stanley, and everybody's like, "This is a tour de force. He's so great," and I'm like, "Nah, he's okay." But Stanley Kowalski is a horrible raper. He's a raper.
He's a raper?
Yeah. He rapes
Blanche?
I can't read it from here.
It says Blanche sucks.
Yeah.
Stanley sucks.
Yeah. It's, and then Stella in the end knows that he raped her sister and she goes back with him. It's not like in the movie where she leaves and he kills Stella. Tennessee Williams do some truly horrible people, because I feel that this is like based loosely on people he knew and kind of slapped at them in this, like, hey, I'm going to show the whole world you suck. Look, here's the mirror. You know how you hate that character? You suck. I mean, good on you, 10, for like just do it, but it's fantastic in its horribleness. These people are horrible. Fuck them.
Michelle, any notes other than
No, the characters are all terrible in their own fucking ways, and particularly Blanche and Stanley. But it's so well written. It's fucking messy and it's ooky. And for that part of it, I do really like it. But it's so like there's no one to root for.
No,
You're maybe supposed to root for Stella, but then she is just like,
yep.
there's no one to root for, not even Mitch. There's nobody to root for in this. Everyone sucks, but it's really well written, and it is a messy look inside of a life I can't even.
Yeah,
like I can't imagine.
When I hear Southern Gothic, this is the first one that pops into my head.
Oh yeah. Two things I always note about this is I don't understand the weird, and in Tennessee Williams, this isn't the only time this has come up in stories, but like the weird, I am somehow entitled to money that you have or would have had from a marriage that I have nothing to fucking do with.
I know.
It happens in Gone with the Wind. Like there's all this weird, where's my money from this inheritance or this death or whatever. And I'm like, bitch, what do you have to do with
did you get here?
Like none of this has anything to do with you.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So that's your first, well, it's not your first indication that Stanley sucks, but it's one of the first. And then also Blanche is a bitch.
Yeah.
She has not got the vapors. What the fuck is she talking about? And then also the very, 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 very famous fucking Stella in the courtyard thing is him. I think people forget this part. Like when you see it in a movie montage or whatever, and you're like, oh, classic.
Yeah.
He's yelling for her to come back after he fucking smacked the shit out of her. Like,
yeah, it's not
romantic.
No,
it's not romantic.
No.
I think people see that
It's not
and they're
a
like, oh, it's
declaration
romantic.
of what-
He's out in the
No.
street calling for his wife. It's not romantic. He just whacked the fucking shit out of her for interrupting a poker game. Like, there ain't no fucking way. I would open the window and been like,
yeah, fuck you.
no, go fuck yourself.
Yes.
Anyway,
okay?
it's really well written. Everyone sucks.
Everyone sucks.
That's, I think in the research I found a streetcar named Desire, everyone sucks. That's okay. Okay, so now we're going to vote. We've got all 20 on the table here. So, and I think I don't need to remind you. What's that? I am so sorry. I thought my list was so perfect that I forgot. I overlooked this is the part of the show. You get one. Even though neither of you get one today, but you get one. And that is, Michelle, do you have a you get one?
Do have a you get one.
Talk to me. Let's do it.
I feel like if plays count, and they do,
And
I
they
agree that they do.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. And if this
It's
is
not a play.
okay, because if you come,
It's not.
if you come at me with a play, I'm going to fucking turn this table over. Go ahead, Michelle.
I have The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. It is a short story. 1948.
Okay, and what? Then make your case.
Okay. First of all, also assigned to me by Henrietta Orr. This fucking story fucked me up real, real good early on. And it also did this. It piqued my interest in kind of, macabre is not the right word, things that are a tiny bit sinister. I think, like, from a book point of view, I was like, I really liked this, and I'm not sure I was supposed to like it. Because here's the deal. The publisher, I think it was the publisher. Was it first published in, like, I think it was maybe first published. I didn't do a lot of research on this just because I know enough about it, I think. But it was either first published in the newspaper as a little,
I think it was a
Sunday
newspaper.
short,
Yes,
like a
yes,
New York
yeah,
Times or something.
It was in the magazine that's in the news.
Yes. And they got so much fucking hate mail and cancellation threats that they're going to cancel their subscription. over this story. Shirley Jackson herself received mail and basically death threats, and her own mother said, "We can't understand why you would write something like this.
Because
You
there's
kids
gotta be
these
something-
days,
yeah.
it's so depressing. Can't you write something to make people happy?" All right,
Made
so
all
the
those people
lottery
happy
is
that they
this.
won.
Oh, no.
I don't have to do that yet?
Not yet. We're going to talk about that in the next episode.
It does in a very short period of time what people have in entire novels could not achieve, which is to get you to like, what is happening here? Why is this
You think
so
you know.
intriguing? And you think you know, and then you don't know, and then at the end you're like, yes, exactly. It's so good. It's a short story.
It's
and
upstairs. It's upstairs on my bookshelf.
Yeah, no, I love how it's not a play. It's a short story.
It fucked me up for real in a good and a bad way.
Okay, but now, so the next question is, I believe you've made your case to the council here, but what would you take off the current list? What would you replace on this list with your short story?
Well, yeah,
Great, because now it's best, though. It's no longer...
yeah. So I'm going to lean into my earlier, it's a play, and I would take off Glass Menagerie. And part of that is just because I don't really like it.
Okay. So the lottery.
Such a good choice, Michelle.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay. Sure.
My only notes on here is this is also not a book, but it fucked me up. Yeah, well, I'm so good at it.
Okay. So
much like
we have 9 left. The lottery's on the list. So let's just start at the top. Diary of a Young Girl, Anne Frank, Michelle. Yes or no?
I'm going to say no.
Andrea.
I am so sorry. I'm going to say no.
Poor Anne Frank. Number 2, The Stranger, Albert
Camus.
Yeah, whatever. Andrea?
No.
Michelle.
No.
Number 3, Animal Farm, George Orwell. Michelle.
I'm going to say yes.
Andrea.
I'm saying yes.
Number 4, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Ernest Hemingway. Andrea.
No.
Michelle.
Also no.
Number 5, Native Son, Richard Wright. Michelle.
I'm going to say no.
Andrea.
Say no.
Number 6, Brideshead Revisited, Evelyn Waugh. Andrea.
I hated this book. No.
Michelle.
Also no.
Number 7, 1984, George Orwell. Michelle.
Hang on. I need to look at like what's coming. Hang on.
We're what, 3 right now? 2?
We have 2.
It'd be weird to put 2.
I will tell you that's what the hang up is for me.
Can we come back to that one or not?
Yeah, absolutely. We can do whatever you want. Number 8, The Little Prince.
No.
Andrea. Sorry.
No.
I wasn't even going to try to say that author's name again. I just embarrassed myself. So Andrea's a no.
I'm a no.
Michelle.
No.
Number 9, Cry the Beloved Country, Alan Patton. Michelle.
I'm going to say yes on this one.
Andrea.
I said yes.
Number 10, The
No.
Fountain. Michelle.
Yeah, no.
11, The Naked and the Dead, Norman Mailer. Michelle.
Give me 1 sec. I'm going to say yes.
Andrea.
Hold on. Hold, please. Well, that's right. Could you stop it? The Naked and the Dead?
Yes.
Yes.
Number 12, All the King's Men, Robert Penn Warren. Andrea.
Yes.
Michelle.
Yes.
Number 13, Evil Under the Sun, Agatha Christie. Michelle.
I'm going to say no.
Andrea.
No.
Number 14, Cannery Row, John Steinbeck. Andrea.
Yes.
Michelle.
Yes.
Number 15, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, Betty Smith. That is Michelle.
Yes.
Andrea.
Yes.
16, Death of a Salesman, Arthur Miller. Andrea.
Yes.
Michelle.
Yes.
17, Pippi Longstocking. Oh, we're no's on that. Never mind. Number 18 is The Lottery. We're good with that. Number 19, Goodnight Moon, is Michelle.
Yes.
Andrea.
Yes. Michelle and I are 9 for 9 in agreement.
Streetcar Named Desire. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Streetcar Named Desire, Tennessee Williams. Andrea.
No.
Michelle.
This is where I'm debating between this and 1984.
That's 1984 one for me, just so you know.
If I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say 1984. So no to Streetcar and yes.
We
to
10 out of 10
I
yes
know.
to each other.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. we have our 10. So going back,
I'm excited about this 10.
the lottery, Shirley Jackson, correct? Did I write that correct? Okay, the lottery. Number 3, Animal Farm, George Orwell. Number 7, 1984, George Orwell.
Good on you, George.
2, George Orwell. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 9, Cry, the Beloved Country. And then The Naked and the Dead, All the King's Men, Cannery Row, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, Death of a Salesman, I already said the lottery, and Goodnight Moon. That is our top 10.
Yeah, the last 10 of this 20 were like,
they
were bangers.
solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like-
Well, thanks for saying that. You know,
Yeah. They were solid.
We
good,
tried.
Sure. I cannot wait to talk about these.
Okay.
This is going to be hard because we.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard.
Yes. Okay, all. Thanks for hanging with us. Hopefully you found that enjoyable. Hit us up on our socials, like, follow, subscribe to the show wherever you're taking in the show. And I would love to hear any takes, no matter what they are, even if I am, you agree I'm stupid or these two are crazy, whatever it is, let us know. Just remember, we regret nothing.